Hello everybody, how is everyone? Welcome back to a new video. I'm really excited to share what I'm about to share in this video. Obviously you already seen it in the title. It's about jealousy. It's about what do you do if your friend is happy in love but you're not, and yeah, what do you do with that jealousy? Are you open and honest with your friend? How do you deal with it? The reason I wanted to record this video because a while back, I don't know exactly when it was, 2 or 3 years ago, I was in the exact same spot. My friend, who, by the way, I made another video how to reunite with a friend, and I'm talking about the same friend in this video. If you haven't seen that video, go see that video. It's a very good video. But back to this topic. So I had this issue with this friend. She fell in love, she was super happy, and at that time my love life was a big chaos and I was very unhappy, and I had all these negative thoughts like, why haven't I met anybody, or why isn't it working out with this guy that I was in love with at the time. And I was just not in a good place in my life, really, generally speaking, actually. And looking at her, even though I guess I wanted to be happy for her, but it felt like she was rubbing her happiness in my face and I didn't know how to deal with it. So 3 years later, looking back, I want to tell you what I think of that situation now. First of all, I'm not judging myself or my friend or anybody for how we dealt with the situation back then, because we only dealt with it from our experience, our knowledge, from who we are back then. And yeah, so there's nothing you can do. The past is done. We can only look forward. But the reason I'm bringing it up in this video is because I've learned a lot of really significant things. And if you've watched the other video, you know that my friend and I, we actually ended up not being friends, not talking to each other for a whole 2 years, until we finally got back together and we talked about everything. We talked about all the things that we didn't talk about at the time. And years later, we were able to really both reflect on our own behaviors and be really open, honest, and yeah, just have an open, loving heart and accept that nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes, but now we are ready to move forward and leave that behind us. But what went wrong at the time? So what I can say in hindsight is that I kept thinking whether I should approach my friend and tell her how I feel or not. And at the time I kept thinking, well, how can I do that? How would that even change the situation? Would it look like I'm not happy for her? All of that. So I never actually approached her. It was all just bubbling inside me. She actually told me now, years later, that she knew I was feeling that way, that she wanted me to be happy, that she really wished at the time I would meet somebody and I would be just as happy as her. And yeah, so even though we didn't talk about it, we obviously were so connected to each other that we still knew what was going on with the other person. But back then, what I didn't know and what I know now is that this sort of pain, this sort of behavior is exactly what kept me away from attracting love into my life for so long. Because I made myself separate. And when you make yourself separate, this is a big issue, because if you feel love if you are love, if you think of yourself as a person that deserves love, you attract love much, much quicker into your life than when you keep thinking, why is it not working out for me? Poor me. Like, you have this victim mentality. I mean, I didn't want to think of myself like that at the time, but looking back, this is really what I mirrored to the universe. And the universe was giving me more of that, even though that's the opposite of what I wanted. But because I didn't know at the time that's what was happening, I was stuck in that negative cycle for a really long time, until I realized that if I want love in my life, what I need to start doing is create thoughts that are creating that feeling of love. And one of the things that you can do is be really, really happy for your friends who are in love, and don't think to yourself, why do they have love and I do not? Try to generate the thought, they are a mirror of me. Because they have love, I will have love soon. Or I'm just so happy for them and I can see myself in them, and I'm gonna have that. Like, and I even started doing that with couples who I didn't know. Like, for example, when I was on the tube and I saw a really happy couple, I would say to myself, love is coming my way. This is exactly what I'm going to have. I can see myself in a couple. I'm so happy for them. And they're an example of the love in the world. They're an example that love still exists. They're an example that there are good guys out there. See all the good in that rather than the bad. So before, I wasn't aware of it, but with my jealousy, I just attracted more of that negativity into my life. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that when I say be happy for your friends who are in love, or if you feel that you are emotionally in so much pain, let's say you've just been going through a breakup, if this is too much to ask from yourself, then allow yourself to take a step back until you are ready to be happy for them, until you're ready to let that love back into your life. Because sometimes we can't just go from a very negative emotion to a very positive emotion. I don't know if you've heard about the emotion scale. I don't even know if this is what it's called. But when you look at the emotion scale, like, there's all these negative emotions at the bottom, and then there's some neutral emotions in the middle, and then you bring yourself up to happiness, joy, love. But you mostly can't just jump from there to there. If you are in that place of sadness or grief even, you may just want to take yourself out of a lot of situations and not look at anybody who's happy, and just process your pain. Because processing emotion is extremely important. And when you process emotion, you are not attracting more of that negativity into your life, because when you allow yourself to process it, you just go through that process of processing. And when you're done, and then you move on. But when you don't allow yourself to process these emotions, that's when you get stuck. And that's when you attract more of that negativity into your life. But going back to my example of my friend, I wouldn't say that I did anything wrong or that she did anything wrong, because the journey we've had together was simply the journey we were meant to have. But if you are watching that video, then you are probably watching it for a purpose. And if you are jealous of your friend and you are in that place of pain, take my advice and process that pain. And you don't even have to meet up with that friend for a while. Maybe you have the courage to talk to her and say, look, I'm going through this. This is the reason I can't see you for a little bit, but it has nothing to do with you as a person, has nothing to do with your relationship. I am happy that you have that relationship, but I am in that place where I need to process my emotions. And when I am done with that, then I will take responsibility of my emotional well-being, and I am going to connect with the energy of love, and I'm going to be happy for you. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I really hope that helped. If you have any advice, or if you want to let me know about anything, any realizations that you've had, please write that in the comments below. Subscribe for more videos if you like, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!